Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. We had previously informed you that the Idaho State Police, who were involved at the request of the Moscow Police Department in the investigation of the events that happened at 1122 King Road on November 13th, 2022. Here is the link where you can obtain these records completely free of charge to review for yourself. I would like to direct your attention to pages 4 and 5 of these approximately 556 records. Page number 4 gets into the witness interview that occurred on November 16th, 2022, according to this narrative at approximately 3:16 p.m. when Idaho State Police Investigations Lieutenant Catlin and this is James Millar, who's writing this report, interviewed. The name is redacted. The interview took place at his parents' house, located at redacted in Boise. And during the interview, blank stated, and it's broken down by paragraph for you. I'm going to leave you to read what this report says in its entirety. I'd like to point out a few paragraphs for you at this time. Paragraph 2. His residence at school was blank, Moscow, Idaho. His residence is approximately 200 to 300 feet from the location of the unalivings. It had been a little nerve-wracking going outside of his apartment. Paragraph 3, he knew some of the victims. He knew Maddie and Xana. He had met Kaylee the night before the unalivings, but did not realize she was one of the victims until later. He did not know the male Ethan. Paragraph 4, at this point in the interview, blank's mother arrived home, name blank, and was present for the remainder of the interview. Paragraph 5, he had known Mogan since their freshman year, and they were in the same pledge classes for fraternities and sororities on campus. Mogan had dated some of Redacted's friends and had positive interactions with Redacted girlfriend in the past. Redacted had classes with Mogan, and they had done homework together periodically. He and Mogan had a lot of friends in common as well. He supposed he had met Gonsalves prior to that night, but did not recall specifically. Paragraph 6, he had never met Kernodle's boyfriend Ethan before. Redacted heard Chapin belonged to the Redacted fraternity. Chapin was also a year younger than Redacted in school. Paragraph number 8, Saturday night, November 12th, and into Sunday morning, November 13th. At the end of the game day, people went out to the bars. Redacted ran into Mogan at the corner club. Mogan and Gonsalves were going to leave the bar to go to John's Alley, and asked Redacted if he wanted to go with them. On the way to John's Alley, Mogan and Gonsalves decided to get food at the grub truck instead. Paragraph 9, Redacted was at the grub truck with them, but was hanging out in the back because he was not getting any food. Someone in a silver sedan picked up Mogan and Gonsalves. He assumed it was one of their friends. Redacted told Mogan to have a good night. Redacted designated driver's shift had already ended at approximately 2 a.m. Redacted had a good coat on, so he walked home. He thought it took him 20 to 30 minutes to walk home from the grub truck. Redacted got home around 3 a.m. and went to bed. Redacted showed on a map the way he walked home, and the way he described did not pass the residence of the unaliving scene. Paragraph 10. Sunday morning, the 13th, Redacted woke up around 10 a.m. to watch NFL football. He left his house and went to Floyd's, a dispensary across the border in Washington. He couldn't remember if he went to Floyd's before he started watching football or if he started watching football, then went to Floyd's. He thought it was weird because he drove past the scene on the way to Floyd's and didn't see any police or anything out of the ordinary. Redacted drove a redacted. Paragraph 11. During the morning, people called him to see if he knew what was going on down the street at the unaliving scene. Redacted didn't believe them and walked outside to see. Redacted had to walk down the street to see the residence / unaliving scene. There was a rumor of an unconscious person, which seemed believable. Paragraph 12. During the group chat between the pledge classes from the fraternities and sororities, kids realized people were missing and something more than a person passed out might have happened. Most of his chats are via Snapchat. Some of the family members of the victims started letting people know about the unaliving before the news did. And then going on to the next page, you can read the rest of this report to learn what the rest of this interview consisted of, but I would like to point out that at paragraph 26, the buccal swabs and the audio recording of the interview were submitted into evidence under, and then it gives the tag number, as item 1 and item 2 respectively. If I could point out a couple of items here. It appears that this witness willingly gave DNA to the Idaho State Police. And secondly, the recorded interview has not been released from what I'm able to tell of the reports that did get released from the Idaho State Police. What I find very interesting is that he is saying that there was some feedback about something wrong at 1122 King Road during the morning hours of November 13th, 2022. If you have any comments, any thoughts, any opinions, please leave them here. Until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you for joining us today.